Beethoven cycle means that classical music is timeless. This music is for all times. I'm sure it's still on Earth in million years, maybe with robots or Martians, I don't know. It's universal, and you can have a young listener used to rock or electro or anything, listening final of Seventh Symphony will have the same emotion than in any other music of our times. So that's why I think it's just extraordinary, modern, and patrimonial. That means that we don't come from nothing. We come from centuries of history, century of politics, of war, of love, of travels, but still, what Shakespeare or Beethoven have put on paper million years ago is still very up to date. And this is what inspires me, this music and this cycle, yeah. Well, to play all these symphonies together, it's like a magic feast. It's like being in a trip with a composer. It's like to play the most popular and the most difficult music of the world sometimes. But because you stay concentrate in it, it becomes like an incredible game. And to communicate this with the audience is something also exceptional. It's rare. I've done it already with Schubert and Haydn London symphonies, but it's the first time I do it with Beethoven. I was in the audience for a complete cycle of Mr. Rattle some years ago in Salzburg. That was just incredible too. I prefer to be on the stage now, but it's amazing. It's an effort also for the audience to listen all this, but it's a magic effort. It's like watching all Star Wars saga in one night, which some people are doing. And I think we need these sort of experiences from time to time. In these difficult times, I think we more and more feel how lucky we are to play music again, together and in front of an audience. I think never in our lives we would imagine that this is such a privilege. I think now, a lot of people, sometimes even me, we think, oh, maybe we don't have enough this or don't enough that, or too much light, or too much audience coughing, or, we are human beings, so we always are unhappy of certain things. But now, I think to be on the stage is a gift for audience, but it's also a gift for us. Because several times we all thought last year maybe we cannot play a concert in our lives again because we were also terrified by what was going on. So, I think we can really appreciate how lucky we are. Symphony number 4 is what we call a small symphony, but it's not so small in fact. It's very classical with a very nice singing second movement. But it's only an appetizer to the 7th symphony, which is with Eroica and 5th and 9th such a Everest, such a masterpiece. when they played the first creation of this piece in Vienna, I think there was a lot of composers playing in the orchestra. Spohr, Meyerbeer. Actually, I know Meyerbeer quite well, so for me it's quite fascinating to imagine all these people together. And the perfection of symphony is just amazing. The charm, the deepness of the second movement, of the allegretto, is so pure and so emotional that at the premiere they had to play it twice. I think our Japanese audience would like to hear it twice. I don't think we have time now to do it, but it's definitely something to do one day. And yeah, people call this piece the apotheosis of dance. It's true that when you listen last movement, I don't think there is another piece of music which has this incredible electricity, this incredible gesture of willing to go. It's almost a war and dance movement. Definitely, I cannot say this is my favorite symphony, but definitely one of the most touching of all. The orchestra is a very transparent group. That means everybody listen and mix and try to communicate like in a string quartet, which is so important. Sometimes you play Beethoven with big machines, and sometimes they do incredible things together. You play also with ancient instruments orchestras, where this sort of collective feeling is also there. But yeah, I think our orchestra here is really very in a natural element playing this music. And what is nice is I think I'm trying to bring some new things. I'm obsessed by the Urtext playing, by the exaggeration of also all the dynamics of Beethoven willings. But I think they really want to go for it. Sometimes, you know these things, but you play and you change conductor, you play again and you play again, and when it gets a little more anecdotic. So I think I have my personality, and I'm trying to be the lawyer of Beethoven, but I also think he's an exaggerating person, an exaggerating composer, and therefore we have to let it go, but also show clearly everything with a lot of energy.
Thank you.
Well, I think the orchestra is communicating and opening. I think to achieve a Beethoven cycle, same orchestra, same conductor, I think it's not so often. I think the audience can be proud to have an orchestra able to organize this and to perform this and getting better and better every concert.